Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to yet another day of the 2025 Wellness Challenge. So today we're going to have another energizing yoga session. It's going to be, as always, very quick, very accessible. There are going to be some intermediate postures in this practice, but you can always modify them to fit your body's abilities today. So anyways, why another energizing session? Well, first we had a quick practice they could practice in the morning. Now this is more just generally energizing because in winter you tend to feel a lot more tired, right? So it's not only the fact that there's less sunlight, but it's just like that slow rhythm that winter puts you in. So now we're just going to try to revitalize, re-energize the body. And we're going to focus a lot on twists and back bends. Very similar to what we did before, where we also try to stimulate kind of the midsection circulation with twists and back bends. But this time there's also going to be a lot of balancing postures, and it's basically just to get your circulation really, really moving. Very different postures, but similar principles to what we did before. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started on the revitalizing, energizing yoga. So we can start in a tabletop position and let's do a few rounds of cat-cow. So take a deep breath in, roll your shoulders back, look up towards the ceiling and arch your back. As you exhale, pull your belly in, push the floor away from you and round your spine. Inhale to look up and bend your spine backwards. Exhale to round your whole spine, look in towards your belly button. Take a deep breath in, push your heart forward, look up and sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Exhale to round in, tuck your tailbone under, shoulder blades moving apart. Inhale to look up for cow pose. Exhale to look in for cat pose. And let's do one more. All right, now neutral tabletop position. You can tuck your toes under. And let's send the hips back and up into downward facing dog. So here, as always, we're just warming up. Bend your knees one at a time. Warm up in the backs of your legs. Make sure you're pressing the floor away from you to really elongate the spine. All right, and slowly bend the knees. And you can make your way forward to the front of the mat. You can step, you can walk, or you can hop forward. All right, so from here, we're gonna have a quick little flow. Just roll up one vertebra at a time to come up to standing. Hands, palms together in front of the chest. Take a deep breath and stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sit down into the chair. Inhale here to lift your chest up one more time. Exhale, hands, palms together in front of the chest and twist over to the right. Take a deep breath in, look up at the ceiling, try to open up your chest more, and exhale as you fold forward. You can grab a hold of your big toes. Take a deep breath in, halfway lift, look forward, try to flatten out the spine. And as you exhale, just fold, allow your head to relax. Pull on your big toes and try as much as possible to straighten out the legs. So we're just gonna hang out here, warming up the back side of the legs. And now we're gonna do the same flow on the other side. So take a deep breath in as you come up, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale to sit into the chair. Bring your body weight in the heels. Take a deep breath in, lift your chest up and pull your arms back. Exhale, hands, palms together in front of the chest and twist over to the left. Bring your hands together in front of the chest. One more breath in here to open up. And exhale to fold again. So this time you can slide the hands underneath the front of the feet for a deeper fold, or you can keep holding onto the big toes. Take a deep breath in for a quick halfway lift. Try to flatten out the spine as much as possible. And as you exhale, just relax your head down. This time think about pulling your hands away from your feet so they can come down a little deeper. And slowly remove your hands from your feet. Plant your hands on the floor. Step or walk or jump back to plank. And you can lower down with the knees, or you can lower without the knees, halfway or all the way. You can go for a cobra or an upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. All right, so send your hips all the way back and up, push the floor away from you. And now we're gonna get started with the main flows of the class. Take a deep breath in, right leg lifts up towards the ceiling, step your foot in between the hands. So this is just preparation, it's a high lunge. Now from here, you're just gonna step forward, well not step, but just catch your left foot behind you so you're ending up in a balancing posture. I'm just gonna step back for a moment and we're gonna go for a dancer's pose. All right, and so from here, you can send your right arm up towards the ceiling. You're just holding on to the outside of your left foot. Take a deep breath in, stretch up, and just kick your left foot into your hand. Try to keep your upper body upright as much as possible, so don't fall. You're not bringing the arm parallel to the floor, but you're trying to keep your right arm up towards the ceiling as much as possible. Just pause here, breathe, get acquainted with the posture. Keep kicking your foot into your hand. And slowly change. So you can bring your feet back together. We're gonna fold towards the floor. And of course, we're gonna eventually step back to plank. Go through the vinyasa. And downward facing dog. So we do the same thing on the other side. Left leg lifts up. Step your foot in between the hands. So just a high lunge to prepare. Now, just make your way forward, balancing on the left leg. You're just gonna catch your right foot. All right, so you're just holding the right foot from the outside, left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and start to kick your right foot into your right hand. So again, you're keeping your left arm up towards the ceiling. Don't let your upper body fall. So you're trying to square off into the shoulders as much as possible. Maybe you pull the right shoulder forward a little bit. You kick a little bit harder, your foot into your hand. And then you take a couple more breaths here. Keep kicking. And slowly change. Feet together. As you exhale, you fold and you go through your vinyasa. Slowly lower down as you exhale. Inhale for your back bend and exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's work on some more balancing postures. So right leg lifts up, step your foot in between the hands. So now you can come all the way up with the upper body. We're gonna go for a triangle. So the right foot is facing forward, the left foot is facing out to the side. Bring your arms out to the sides, take a deep breath in. Slowly lean over the right leg. You can bring your right arm somewhere on the inside of your right leg or foot. Sometimes some people like to grab the big toe with the right fingertips. You can just stay here. And again, working on opening up in between the shoulders. So you stretch your arms apart. You try to look up maybe towards the ceiling. And try to twist the left side of your chest back. Now we're going to move towards the balancing postures. So you can bend the front knee slightly, shift the right hand forward, and fly up into a half moon. So you got to lift the left leg high up so that you feel it into the outer left hip. If you can, try to look out to the side or even up towards the ceiling. And you flex your left foot. So that you can really engage and power all throughout the left leg. The right leg is also strong and straight. Now from here, just bend the left leg and catch your left foot with your left hand. And now just kick your leg into your hand to really open up the whole front side. So it should feel like a nice opening sensation in the front of the left hip, the left shoulder and chest. You just keep kicking to really open up. You're creating this kind of bow shape with your upper body. One more breath here. And slowly change. Let's bring the hands down onto the floor. Slowly lower down. Deep breath in for your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Same thing, other side. Left leg lifts up. Step your foot in between the hands. So now we go for triangle. Left foot straight forward. Right foot out to the side. Arms out to the sides as well. Deep breath in as you lean over the left leg and you bring your left arm on the inside of your left leg. Your right arm stretches up towards the ceiling and you try to rotate the right chest back as much as possible to really open up into the right side of your chest, right side of your body. Your both legs are strong. Engage the thighs. Try to push your hips more forward over to the left side of the room. Well, now it should be the right side of the room, right? The part of the room that you're facing. And now we're gonna head into half moon. Slowly make your way forward. Place your left hand on the floor, just on the left side of your left foot, right? That gives you more support. And the right leg lifts up high. You flex the right foot. Engage both of your legs. Your right arm is really strong, and if you can, look up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to open up the hips to the side wall, the same part of the room that you're facing. And now, bend the right leg, catch the right foot with the right hand, take a deep breath in, and kick your right foot into your hand to really open up your chest. As much as possible, trying to create some tension to open. Again, not only the chest, but also the front of the right thigh. It's going to be stretching here. Just keep breathing and hold it a little longer. Now to come out. Slowly let go of your right foot. Bring both hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Inhale here to hold. On your next exhale, you lower down. Inhale for your back bend. And exhale for downward facing dog. The last flow. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Step your foot in between the hands. So now we go for a warrior one, which is the left heel is on the floor. Your two heels are more or less in one line. And then you bring both arms up above your head. Try to sink into the right heel or into the right knee as much as possible. And you stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. You want to bring the left side of your chest forward as much as possible. Well, actually your left hip should be kind of parallel to your right hip, but that's for most bodies really hard, so you at least try to work into squaring the left side of your chest more forward. And now, just straighten the right leg. For the grip, you can grab your opposite elbows behind your back, or you can go for a reverse prayer grip. And you'll notice I did a little shuffle with my left foot out to the left, right? So this is just to create some space between the feet to help with balance. All right, take a deep breath in, lift your chest up, and slowly you're gonna lean over the right leg. This is sometimes known as pyramid pose. So you wanna lengthen your chest forward. At some point, if you go too deep, your spine is gonna round, but you wanna stay up where your spine can stay straight. And use your grip, so if you're holding your elbows behind your back, you pull your shoulders back. Same thing with the reverse prayer. It's there to keep your spine straight, more or less. So just use it. And now, you're gonna let go of your grip, and you can bring your left hand somewhere on the floor. If you can, try to bring it on the outside of your right leg. And now your right arm is going to come up towards the ceiling. So this is a revolved triangle pose. This is a little bit more challenging than the regular triangle because you have a little bit less range of motion. But again, the principles are very similar. So you try to twist the right side of your chest back as much as possible to really open up. All right, and that's enough. You can bring both hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Inhale to hold your plank. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale for your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Left leg lifts up. Step the foot in between the hands. Warrior one. Bring your right heel on the floor. Bring your arms up over your head. Exhale to sit down lower. So to bend the left knee more. Try to square off your chest to the front. Lift your chest up more. Your arms are stretching up, but your left leg is bending down. At the same time, you're bringing the right side of your chest more forward. Now slowly, you can straighten the left leg. You can grab your elbows behind your back or do a reverse prayer. You can open up between the legs a little bit more so that you have a little bit more balance. So you move your right foot out to the right or your left foot out to the left. Take a deep breath and lift your chest up and slowly lean over the left leg. Again, don't go so deep. So I like to keep my chin in, more or less, kind of close to the chest. And then I like to look down at my big toe. That way I can really make sure that I get that lengthening sensation. Because when you look down, you go down. If you look a little bit down and forward, that makes sure that you're really elongating forward, stretching. And now you can bring your right hand on the floor. Somewhere either on the inside, this is easier, or on the outside of your left leg. And your left arm up towards the ceiling. And again, you try to look up towards the ceiling. Try to kind of twist as much as possible. And if you push your right arm into the floor and you stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling, that really helps you to open up your chest. Slowly you can bring your hands to the floor. One last vinyasa. And after you go to down dog, just bring your knees to the floor. We're going to do the last few closing postures of the practice. So let's quickly move into a yogi squat. Again, working on opening up the hips. So we did quite a few hip openers, right? Especially that little flow with triangle, with half moon, and with chapasana, which is where you grab your foot in the balancing half moon. And now we work on opening the hips one more time in squat. Let's slowly sit down. Bring the soles of the feet together. I like to grab onto kind of just underneath my toes. And then take a deep breath and lift your chest up. And here you can focus on kind of squeezing your glutes to really bring your knees closer to the floor. And this is also a hip opener, but it's more of an inner thigh opener. So if you have tight inner thighs, if you're working towards deeper kind of separate leg stretching postures, like maybe the middle splits, this is a great posture to start. Just a few more breaths here. And slowly come out of it. We're going to do a few more postures to end the practice. So let's bring the left leg out. The right leg, you can just cross it over your left leg. And you can just hug your right knee using your left hand. And then your right hand can come behind you. So you're basically going to end up in a twist. This is sometimes known as half Lord of the Fishes. Just look back and make sure you're twisting throughout the whole spine. Now before we change and do the other side, just bring your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. And then you're just going to stretch your arms forward to fold over the left leg. So again, just working deeply into the hamstring tissue, stretching out the backs of your legs. This is very common in yoga, but it's also very important to also strengthen the hamstrings, which we also do in a lot of my classes. For example, Chapasana also works on strengthening the hamstring. Now slowly come out. Let's do the other side. So right leg stretches forward, left foot just comes on the outside of your right leg, so you're kind of crossing your legs. And then you can hug your left knee using your right hand, and then your left hand comes behind you. It's just a simple twist. And you look back to make sure you're twisting throughout the whole spine. And slowly change. Let's bring the left foot in. Stretch forward, grab somewhere along your right foot, and just fold over the right leg. And slowly change, come out of it. Just turn around, lie down on the back. And again, like I was saying with that it's important to, as well as stretching the hamstrings, it's important to fire them up. So we're gonna go for a bridge pose. You're gonna just lift your hips up, keep your feet flat on the floor. And I'm gonna show you a little trick to fire the hamstrings in this one. So if you just lift up and squeeze your glutes, this is great for your glutes. If you think about your heels pulling towards your shoulders, like think about really pulling your heels in towards you, you're gonna feel your hamstrings activate, right? So you can do this a few times. And I even like to walk my feet a little bit more forward when I do this. Not too much, but just a little ahead of the knees. And then a trick that's more for the quads is if you walk your feet closer than hip width and you lift your hips up, then you start to feel more of your quads, right? So the positioning of the feet depends. Underneath the heels is just neutral, good for your glutes. A little bit more forward is good for hamstrings. Closer in is good for your thighs. So anyways, enough information. Now we can just relax on the back. Go for a quick shavasana to end the practice. And you can stay here for as long as you need to. I recommend just a couple of minutes. So I hope you liked today's practice. I hope it gave you a little bit of energy. The postures are mainly energizing because you need a lot of power to perform them. You work with the balance, you work with the solar plexus, which is directly related to your energy, right? To your willpower. Congratulations on completing another day of the challenge. I'll see you tomorrow with some affirmations, some self-love affirmations that we're all going to practice together. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.